Hi, I'm the Moss Man, and in today's video we'll be finishing off the Moss Waterfall Terrarium that I started in the last video. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll link it up here and in the description. And we weren't able to get the hardscape fully completed in the last video, so I'm going to quickly get that done, and then we can begin planting. So I thought I had everything finished, but when I tested it, you can see that water is leaking through the back and out. So what I had to do was dry it off, fill it with silicone, and then spread that silicone around. After that though, I had the entire water section fully working, pouring over the side into the pool and then down into the center, just as I had originally intended. Then after that I was off to find some plants, and among the ferns I spotted a cotton candy fern. I was originally intending on using maidenhair ferns, but ended up buying these two instead, and some of the gravel that I was going to use. Of course, the best place for a plant is in the cup holder. And once I took the gravel home, the first thing I did with the gravel was wash it, and then pour off all the top kind of dirt and floating bits, so that I was just left with the clean gravel underneath. I did this a few times actually in order to thoroughly wash off all the nasty bits, and then I just put it in the setup and pushed it around with my hand until it was relatively flat. It didn't have to be perfectly flat enough that it was thoroughly distributed, and then after that I just gave it time for the water to clear up a little. Alright, so we're just going to pick up some super glue and grab some lunch. And today I have with me my lovely camera person, George. Does it work?
Yeah.
Alright. And then after we're going to go and pick up some floating plants from a pond in the area. Alright, well, let's hope it recorded the last part. Okay, well this is the wrong aisle. Whoa, getting the fancy shots in. Don't hit anybody.
Yeah, I'll try not to.
Here we go. Okay, what kind? I'm gonna be gluing the plants into the setup. So I'm thinking probably a gel-based or gel kind of glue is the best option. Unfortunately, we didn't get the footage we took of us going into the pond area to grab these plants didn't end up, like, it got corrupted. So I will insert a picture here of the area instead, so you get an idea of where we were grabbing this stuff from. But what I'm doing is just kind of the same thing as the gravel, sort of. Filling up the container with water and letting the sludge sink to the bottom while the plants remain floating on top of the water. After it's full, of course, I gave it time for the sludge to settle, and then once that was done, scooped some of the plants off the top and further diluted them in water before then using tweezers to take them out of that water and put them into the setup. I recorded this too, but it was also corrupted, so For this next section, I'm going to be preparing the 2 ferns that I purchased. This rabbit's foot fern right here. It's also sometimes called tarantula leg fern. It has a lot of different names, and that's because of these unique structures here. I actually have a larger one. And you can see that the legs grow larger and larger, and this one's creeping over the side here. So we're going to be using this rabbit's foot fern and this cotton candy fern right here. I chose this one because the leaves and structures are more dense than with a lot of the other ferns, so it'll scale the terrarium more appropriately. So now that we have our plants separated, what I'm going to do now is take these 2 fellows and try and use a combination of placing them into the cracks and weaves and stuff, and of course super glue to try and position them in a way so that they'll continue to grow well and contribute to a successful ecosystem. There we go, that's the words. Get moss, I saw this sign in the area. I knew they were going to be doing construction, but I was hoping that that wouldn't be for a few years, so hopefully this forest area is around a little longer. Anyways, so then I just started putting the moss that I collected in, super gluing in place the stuff that I could, and trying to not disrupt the flow of water, but put it in a place where it would still soak up some water and through osmosis make it all the way through the moss and to the roots of the other plants. you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'd like to thank Dylan and Elijah for providing the music in this video. I'd like to thank George for coming and doing some camera work for me. I'll see you in the next one. Adios. Alright, so to stay in theme with the last video, we're going to be doing another cooking video. Today I'm making a sandwich.
There we go.